What's up, guys? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of our videos. Also, make sure you follow us all over social media so you don't miss any of our content or show announcements. But I thought this was one of Jimmy Butler's best offensive games since coming to the Warriors. He makes everything look so easy, and it's interesting because it's not like he's out there doing a bunch of superstar shit. Like, it's not like he's knocking down crazy contested jump shots or throwing these mind-blowing passes, the kind of stuff you see from like Luka Doncic or Nikola Jokic, right? He's operating almost exclusively in the margins, but he's just so damn good at all of those things. Generated 9 more free throw attempts in this game. He just has this natural ability to get defenders out of position and draw fouls. He does it through pump fakes. He's really good at changing the angle of his drives to force defenders to foul. He had a big one late in the game. I think it was on Mitchell Robinson, if I remember correctly, where he just kind of tweaked the angle of his drive into Mitchell's body so that when Mitch went to go block him at the rim, he ended up kind of getting too heavy onto his left shoulder and drawing a foul. It just slows the game down. It allows the Warriors to set their defense. It's just a big floor raiser for that team when things are kind of getting tough. And then he's just really good at making simple reads. There were 2 threes that Buddy Hield hit in the second half that were both off of passes from Jimmy Butler that didn't even require the Warriors to run any offense. All that happened was Jimmy brought the ball up the floor, in the middle of the floor, and Buddy Hield was on the wing, once on the left wing, once on the right wing. Both times, OG Anunoby's guarding him, and both times, OG Anunoby is sinking in what we call nail help, right? This is gapping, or the type of defense that you'll see from most of the good defenses in the league. Essentially, whoever has the ball, he'll have his on-ball defender in front of him, shading him whichever direction the game plan wants. But usually on both sides in the driving lanes, you'll have guys basically splitting the difference, playing about halfway between the ball and the spot-up shooter, because they feel like they can offer help, but they can also get out and contest. Now, one of the ways you can beat nail help is just by making a swing pass, but you have to throw it quickly and you have to hit the guy right in the shooting pocket. Because again, why that guy is in that nail help position is because he feels like he can close out. He feels like he can get there and get rid of that advantage quick enough to where the guy might pump fake or the guy might not feel comfortable taking that shot. You have to rifle the pass. It has to be right in the shooting pocket, and that shooter has to knock it down. That is the only way to really beat nail help, is you got to show a willingness to beat it with swing passes and shooting. And Jimmy, just both of them, the one on the left wing, the one on the right wing, just rifle passes right into the shooting pocket, and Buddy Hield knocked him down. That's just found money. You didn't even have to run offense. You didn't have to run pick and roll. You didn't have to get a switch that you like to generate an additional defender or an advantage. You just brought the ball up the floor and threw a swing pass, but because you rifled it, hit him in the shooting pocket, and the guy knocked it down, you were able to beat some nail help. He generated a wide open catch and shoot 3 for Steph on the right wing off of a baseline drive. Caught it on the left wing. I think he was going against Bronson, if I remember correctly. It was like a transition cross match. And he just hard ripped through to the baseline, drew, I think it was Moses Moody in the right corner. I can't remember exactly who it was in the right corner, but Steph was on the right wing. And he drove the baseline, threw the swing pass to the right corner. Mikal Bridges, who was guarding Steph, had no choice but to drop in rotation. I'm pretty sure it was Moody. To drop in rotation to Moody in the corner. And then Steph gets a wide open catch and shoot 3 in a half-court set. You'll see Steph get wide open catch and shoot 3s in chaos, like in transition or on an offensive rebound, or if he draws multiple defenders and the ball gets worked back around to him while the defense is in rotation. It's so rare to see Steph get wide open catch and shoot looks in the flow of half-court offense because of the simple fact that Mikal Bridges is not going to help if he's already on Steph in a half-court setting. But Jimmy generated that with just a simple baseline drive against a mismatch. He's such a natural fit in their read and react offense. On ball with inverted screens with Steph. He got to the foul line on a big one of those late in the game where just they didn't want to switch, so there was a little bit of a gap. The defender didn't pick him up until he was 10 feet from the basket. He was already out of position. All of the off-ball stuff, the slipping out of screens, the sealing. He had a big one with Draymond in the second half where he spun out of a screen, and Draymond just threw a perfect pass that hit him in stride for a layup. He's just a beautiful fit on this team. I was looking at the box score. It goes for 19 points, which is fine, right? 4 rebounds, 4 assists, nothing special there. No steals, no blocks. it was a pedestrian stat line. And like for the most part, if you pull up Jimmy's numbers as a Warrior, there's nothing exceptional happening there statistically. Yet I thought he dominated the second half of that game, just using his brain. He's such a beautiful fit on that basketball team. Steph looked fantastic again, 28 points, 21 shots, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. The degree of difficulty on the shots he's been hitting is outrageous. He's been good at getting separation in the mid-range as of late. Hit a couple more of those last night. He had the shot, the big one late that put him up. It was when it was 97-93, a big three along the right wing. Sprinting off of a screening action, catches on the move, plants his feet, squares up in midair, doesn't even touch the rim. Just an absurd degree of difficulty on that shot. In Steph's last 13 games, he's averaging 30 points, 4 rebounds and 7 assists on 64% true shooting. 30 points on 64% true shooting. That's MVP Steph numbers. That's the numbers he was putting up when he won the unanimous MVP. Those are that's the type of production that Steph's been putting up in his last 13 games. I talked in the early part of the season about how I thought Steph's perceived decline was some combination of like age and frustrations or lack of belief in what the roster was capable of. And it's beginning to look a lot like it's more of the latter than the former, because ever since intel has been coming down that the Warriors were going to make a deal, Steph's been hooping his ass off. Steve Kerr talked about how his body's in a great place. Remember how his body was in a tough place early? He just is rejuvenated by the belief in his opportunity to try to win a championship this year. The Warriors are 9-2 in their last 11 games, 5th in offense, 2nd in defense, 3rd in net rating, 10th in rebounding. They just look much more like a well-rounded, dead serious basketball team that has a real chance to make noise in the postseason. Just a couple other shout-outs for the Warriors. Podziemski, 19 points. Hit a big three on the right wing in transition during the second half run. A lot of important scoring in the first half when the Warriors' offense was kind of bogging down. And then lots of good ball pressure. Again, on Brunson, just slowing down the Knicks getting into their offense. I thought he was great. Moses Moody continuing to do a phenomenal job in that primary wing defensive role. Guy Santos, plus 14 in 15 minutes. I thought he hit one of the biggest shots in this game. It was 94-93 in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks just didn't pick him up in transition on the right wing, and Draymond trusted him. Draymond threw the pass, trusted him to knock it down, and he knocked down that three. I thought that was big. Warriors are playing some great basketball. On the Knicks front, it was just jarring to see the difference in their offensive geometry without Karl Anthony Towns. It made Brunson and Bridges in particular play in so much more of a crowd in the paint than they're accustomed to. There were just really difficult shots, like Mikal Bridges having to rely on one-leg fadeaways in traffic and Brunson just facing 2-3 defenders at any given point. Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns, when he's out there, brings a different dynamic, but I just thought it was interesting and an example of just how important a spacing 5 can be for an offense.